Today is the girl's birthday, but her family has been brutally murdered. She narrowly escaped because she was out shopping. As she steps onto the stairs, she sees shattered glass and the killer coldly staring at her. Then she spots her father lying lifeless on the ground. Trying to keep her composure, she moves forward, her only hope resting with the neighbor. She rings his doorbell, pleading for him to let her in. He hesitates, unwilling to get involved in such trouble. Desperate, she repeatedly presses the doorbell as the killer grows suspicious behind her. Finally, a ray of hope shines on her face as she is rescued, and the killer's doubts are eased. The neighbor, unsure how to comfort her due to his solitary lifestyle, treasures only a single houseplant. By chance, the girl discovers his true identity and begs him to train her as a killer to avenge her family. He refuses, urging her to get some sleep. But after she drifts off, he stands by her bed with a silenced pistol, recalling her tragic life, yet he can't bring himself to do it. The next day, wanting her out of his life, he gifts her a gun for self-defense. She retorts that since he saved her, he must take responsibility. If he forces her out, what's the difference from killing her? With that, she grabs the gun and fires wildly out the window to prove her resolve to become a killer. Her shocking display stuns him. Reluctantly, he decides to move her to a new place and, once settled, she begins her first training with the local notorious gang leader as her target. The girl raised her rifle and looked through the scope, only for it to be swiftly covered by a hand. The killer, her mentor, told her that the glare from the lens could give away her position. He was training her to be an assassin, and to his surprise, she had a natural talent. She could aim and hit targets with ease, though this time, it was just a practice round. Why did she want to become a killer? Not long ago, her entire family had been brutally murdered, and it was the neighbor, the same cold-blooded assassin, who had saved her. Over time, as they spent more time together, even this emotionally detached killer started to feel something resembling happiness in his life. The assassin himself never had a formal education and had stashed all his savings with his boss. One day, he went to the boss, asking to withdraw some money for an urgent matter, but the boss saw right through him.
You met a woman.
Back to the residence, Uncle told the girl that he was going out to perform a task. But as he stepped outside, something unfamiliar stirred inside him, an emotion. For a killer, feelings are dangerous, as they can slow down your trigger finger. While the assassin was away, the girl sneaked back to her old home and found her father's hidden stash of money. But to her shock, her enemy, the person responsible for her family's deaths, was there too. She hid, listening closely to their conversation.
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit!
You want cooperation? Come at my office. Room 4602.
She followed them afterward, tracking down where her enemy worked. When the uncle returned from his mission, the girl presented him with a wad of cash and asked him to help her avenge her little brother's death. But the uncle refused, believing that revenge would only consume her and drag her into darkness. The best thing, he said, was to let go of the hatred. But the girl was blinded by her rage. Her entire family had been killed. How could she just forget that? She then proposed a game. If I die, you'll be free. But if I survive, you'll help me get revenge. Uncle said you would lose. As a professional, he had already heard the sound of a bullet being loaded into the chamber.
I love you, Leah.
This time, she won the gamble for her life. After losing her entire family, she hoped the assassin would help her get revenge, but first, she had to learn the ropes of being a professional killer. They started working together on missions, first using gum to block the peephole, creating the illusion that the light was broken. The girl pretended to be a lost young woman.
Mister, I'm scared.
Their flawless coordination allowed them to enter the house easily.
If you clip your mouth, I pull the trigger. Capisci?
The man's expression was like the fourth emoji on your phone. He was a dealer in white powder. The girl readied her silenced pistol.
A little left, please.
The assassin pointed out her shooting flaws, and she listened intently, completely disregarding the man's feelings. Once he finished instructing her, he shot the man twice. Over the following days, their teamwork grew stronger. The assassin approached his boss, asking him to give all his stored money to the girl if anything happened to him. Going out alone on another mission, the girl disguised herself and trailed her enemy, wanting to avenge her family and brother personally. When the man entered the bathroom, she followed, but as a newbie assassin, she was no match for an experienced detective. The enemy had realized she was there and had lured her into the trap. Just then, a subordinate walked in, reporting that a brother had been taken out. The man suddenly connected the dots. This girl was linked to that incident. Yes, that's right. Uncle is helping girls get revenge. The man didn't kill her, but kidnapped her. When the assassin returned home and found her missing, he discovered a note she had left behind. Determined, he stormed into the federal building to rescue her. Little did they know, they were already being tracked on their way back. The girl was a bait, and they were surrounded by police. After shopping, the girl was captured. Under pressure, she mistakenly gave the wrong signal, which prepared the assassin for what was coming. The SWAT team that entered became sitting ducks. With lessons learned, the attack was cautious. The assassin took a SWAT officer hostage to trade for the girl, and they hid in a room as police numbers swelled, even bringing in snipers. Using an axe, the assassin broke into the ventilation duct, sending the girl and his precious plant inside. Realizing the duct was too narrow for him to escape, the assassin assured her he had a plan and arranged a meeting spot. The room was soon blown to bits, but he survived, donning their uniforms and sneaking away. Unfortunately, he was spotted by the girl's enemy. As he quietly slipped out the back door, hope was just within reach. The assassin envisioned a peaceful life ahead, completely oblivious to the danger behind him. A gunshot rang out, and he fell to the ground while the girl escaped safely. In the end, he avenged her family by discreetly pulling the pin from a grenade and placing it in the man's hand. With a deafening explosion, he was gone. Not long after, the girl visited an orphanage, planting the assassin's favorite green plant in the ground.
I think we'll be okay here, Leah.